welcome. Hi guys. Now I don't know whether anyone's going to be joining us, and I'm going to keep it shorter actually than I had originally planned. And I thought we would do maybe one of the practice from the email, working with smoke. I've got a bit of a cold, but what I do is I will light a candle also here, so you could perhaps use the candle for focus. So focus is a theme that next month in our energy we're going to be working with how we cultivate our focus, because where our focus goes, our energy flows, and this is really important in how we create and what the experiences we live in our life. So fire is the element when we think of the flame, but I want you to focus on the smoke coming from the flame, and I will be using, I've got some Palo Sanchez here, some actual smoke for a little focus meditation, just a tiny one, and just get you to spend a short time, not like an hour-long workshop or whatever, which I was planning. Actually, it actually feels more relevant that this is a nice, quick, short thing that you can do, a little mini practice of self-care. I pulled a card this morning, early this morning at 6:30, and it was from the twin flame pack, which was self-love. And these are one of the things that you can do for your rituals or practices or focuses. I call them more intention practices or intention tools. So depending on where your belief system's coming from. So I'm going to put the candle here just off camera so you can, she says, will it stay? Oh gosh, I actually put it here. You'll still be able to see it. Sorry, the laptop. I'll put it there. You see that still? It's a bit small, but we're going to light this, and as we light it with the intention of creating our sacred space. In fact, that's probably easier. I will just cleansing, another ritual for the full moon, which is smudging. And we're working with the element of air and how it flows. Look, it's how the wind kind of directs it. Hold it too near my nose. But beautiful. The air, the wind. Feel as though, and it's beautiful that it's white smoke. As I'm sure some of you know, when it goes black, it's meant to be that it's purifying negative energy. There is none around me. Energy hygiene is certainly something that is worth. I'm going to put that on there. And obviously with the camera, you'll see the smoke occasionally. I will light it. So let's just start by cat hair in there. Centering ourselves, making this moment, whatever it is. I've literally got a circle. I've got a hula hoop down here, so we're going to do some little creative ways of what you can do, and we're going to do a little bit of movement. We're going to start with a little mini meditation, and I mean mini. I'm going to no more than 15, but we're already for 4 in, so let's go quicker. Tracer, take a breath in. You may want to light your own scent. Don't worry if you want to, you can pause the video for the replay and go and do those things if you want to. You don't have to. I have the scent of Palo Sanchez. And here with the bowl, as I sound it, I want you to think of your body and your posture. In fact, I'm going to do this standing, so you can do it sitting, you can do it laying down, whatever feels right for you. But I want you to think of your alignment, your access. In fact, I will do it sitting. And breathing in, breathing out. And as I resound this, I want you to think about how you're resounding in this now moment. Feeling the sound coming over you. We are going to do a little bit of love language and some some of the chant sounds, which are different to light language. But for now, just visualizing this nice light coming down in the top of the head where our nervous system, where it hits this beautiful plasma that's hitting the earth at the moment in waves, but how it's affecting you and your field, your thought forms, your emotional body and your physical body, and what's showing up for you. Is it creating detoxification, what we call spiritual flu, other things happening? For those of you that aren't aware, the tree just there, the cat jumped on my face and jolted my neck, so I can't quite move my neck in the same, and it's like that, ooh, pain in the neck. What is that resistance that's showing up? Where is that resistance? So asking your body questions you might want to pose for this full moon energy, of letting go of resistance to hearing the answers and the clarity. It's a very gentle, it was a micro full moon. But for your visualization, think of resounding, that sound around you, the vibrations, like it's knocking out or showing up any disharmonics within. Calling your awareness, your attention back to self. And by self, I don't mean the selfishness, but the selfless, the higher aspect. Now, you can do, to start with, we're going to do an open eye meditation. Remember the smoke? If you got my emails, if you're on my subscriber list, we spoke about different air elements. Just looking at the smoke for the moment, seeing how it, in fact, what I might do is put that there so you can see it in front of you. It stay, yeah. And our breath. So I myself am going to watch and hone my focus. I find it hard to actually have my eyes open during the meditation. I naturally close them because it brings my direction inside. So as a practice and as a focus, focusing on the awareness of the inside, but my eyes are focusing on the smoke, which I want to move because you can no longer see it. There we go. Now, if you can't see the smoke, pick a spot somewhere where you can see, like, I don't know, a flower pot. If you're inside a tree, you can use this tree behind me, just your focus, and look at the tree, and just off to the sides you start to see maybe the aura of the tree. You can do this with an incense stick. And just breathing in, breathing out. Allow your mind to go to the dance and how the wind is blowing the smoke. And it's dissipating. And its dance. How it flows the way the wind blows, like the currents of energy flow around us. And we're going to move in movement like that, or you can continue just looking at your candle, looking at the tree, or move with me, looking at smoke. Leave that there. It should still, let's just give it another pop. There we go. move with some flow. Let's get a bit of those. And just feel like the smoke, feeling that alignment I was talking about when we were tapping the bowl, and the resoundingness of the field around you. Visualize in your mind. If you can't actually see these things, that's fine. Allow your imagination to come in. Visualize this straight line, this axis of your soul, your being, and grounded and anchored. And then feel the movement with the flow. Now we're just going to do what we call an energy dance. We're going to do some ad-libbing from that, but to balance the right and left brain hemispheres. So we're just moving our hips, just like hip shimmies, and feeling into flow and air and that element, as it helps us with communication, within relationships, with the frequency, within the sound of our own frequency. Move the body, feel the balance. Obviously I've got against the blockage. Feel rolling through the spine, just gently, or just keep your mind focusing. If you don't want to do the movement, that's fine. If you don't want to do any expressing and humming, that's fine. Just make it a meditation, whatever feels right for you. If you want to get your pad out and journal, if you've got some paints handy and you want to just let colours come through and flow through to your mind. This is about connecting to your joy, your flow. Okay, and we're going to sway from side to side and work with our resistance. So sitting, you can maybe do this, just moving from side to side. Helps with any trapped cellular memory within the body. And remember, this is about releasing. Full moon's about letting go of what doesn't serve us, and make that a rotation of the circles that come up with that spiral, rotating the hips, and in the opposite direction. We have the different fields, the top half of the microbiome, the bottom half, as it oscillates, two different frequency tones that make up your field. Bringing the hands up. As you bring them down in like a prayer position, slide the thumbs over the nose. Do this sitting down or don't, whatever's right for you. Feeling in. We're calling forth, where we're letting go, we're also calling forth the highest versions of ourselves. Stepping into this beautiful identity, almost like a little hula dance, in the pushing resistance from side to side, feeling the arms. So really simple. It's not, you don't have to be a ballerina or a dancer to do these movements. If you have any issues, I couldn't even lift my arm up yesterday before some Reiki. So just do that from here. It doesn't have to be big like I'm doing. Just maybe a cleansing breath or two. Right and left brain hemisphere, right brain hemisphere. A little bit of the Qigong. And then you can, little shake. Shake, shake, shake your more. Shake your body and mind. Shake and let go of all those things that are holding you back, those doubts, those sadnesses, those angers. See, it's the anger like a balloon going, and instead we're directing that anger into our fire of our passions. A little twist. And on the kidneys, because again on the body, on the physical level, this is, we're working through all of those systems. Libra, I can't remember, the endocrine system, the kidneys, all of our like flushing systems, detoxification, so perfect to work for the spring. Like we're cutting back, we're trimming off all the old shoots, things, the dead weight, and then just lifting up feet. You want to, you can kick if you want, but think about those points we have, liver 1 on the bottom, touching the earth and letting go of any excess. Okay, remember what I'm always banging on about the power of gratitude. I'm going to bring that in. So feel as though you're letting go, and if you want to state or write in the comments, whatever, in your journal, what are you letting go of? So I'm letting go of doubts, of how I'm being seen. I'm letting go of, what else? What am I letting go of? I'll give you some of mine. What was on my list? Of fearing having money, of the fear of money and money association. Instead, I'm calling it in, and I'm saying thank you to it for its support and love, and I'm starting to see it differently as a blessing it is that's always taken care. It's always been there. I'm going to stop saying it's not enough. Yeah. I'm letting go of my attachment to how quick healing must take. Instead, knowing that there are many spontaneous healings. Letting go of how we see this world as being negative, lots of things happening, and yes, there will be. I'm not saying that there's not. It's not like I'm burying my head in the clouds. Instead, I'm starting to see magnified even more than I was before. The growth, the expansion. Right, then we need to just figure out eights and a sway. Calling in my higher soul. Now, maybe if you haven't been journaling, to journal, or just to spend some time with the mind, the thoughts of that energy, allowing yourself to clear or be aware of whatever thoughts are coming up, and those that may need to be let go of. Think of that smoke, think of it flowing, think of yourself as the smoke flowing like water is if you watch it. Flowing along the axis, not rigid mindsets, not rigid in time, fluidity back and forth. We allow. We can reframe our pasts, let go of it. If it's too hard for you, reframe it. Visualize now, go back in time and change it. Here's a thing for you. Feel. Pauses between the movements. Feel when you need to be still and when you need to move. Understanding your own ebb and flow. I'm going to come back to a seated position and allow the sound. And you might want to allow yourself to dance with the magic of you as I dance and connect, because I really do need to close my eyes for this. Maybe later I won't, but I'm not a trans channel in that sense. I don't ever give over. I feel it flow through me. There's a difference. I'm not ever taken over by an entity who's speaking to you. I feel the fullness of who I am speaking through me, like an antenna, like a radio dial, if you like. Turn and tune your own radio dial to the fullness of who you are, not who I am. Although I and you are one in the same, we're just different fractals of the whole. By reflecting myself into my heart space, calling forth the highest aspect of myself in this sacred circle that we have created. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to do before. In this sacred circle, you have a little circle for anyone who's got a hula hoop out there. You can literally, could have done some hula hooping, which I can't, but it's just standing in a circle, literally in the circle, feeling the circle on a literal phase, or feeling the bigger circle, the circle of space, of time and space that is all of us. The visual hardcore, when I say hard, the tangible physical circles that were built here in a similar representation for sacred space and purpose. You can imagine yourself now in one of those circles, just like the territory that I'm in. The most famous one is Stonehenge, but I'm drawn to Ring of Brogna, the one for time and space, and the third eye chakra of the Kundalini of the UK. You might be drawn to somewhere in a sacred space that is somewhere you feel the most high frequency and vibration. For example, the Giza Plateau, wherever you bring, or Mount Shasna, Sedona, other places, Yosemite, places you feel. They may be actual built structures, they may be just energetical structures within the ground. You know, we said about the elements. Earth has its own flows, its rivers of energies, its Kundalini, its dragon energy, and the dragon Sophia energy is coming forth and joining for our circle in its flow of the lava through the ground. Even what we feel is solid is not, before the tectonics and shifts of the plates of our planet move also in their own flow. Though they appear to be stationary, they are not, just as we too are. When we stop in sacred moment, we go within, we are still moving. The energy itself is frequency, it's lighter and heavier, not lower and higher, but lighter. You feel less weighted. Instead, you feel the roots and grounded in those high frequencies. So breathing into that. For the last part of this, I said 20 minutes, and I just want to link with the sound. Hello, watch him. Ihaeteo. Ai shi ai o ai tuku o ai asa ai tuku oa o kokai atai ai kuma. Here is the background music chanting for you, a chant. Karaya Satala, Karaya Satala, Whoa, yes, I'm fine. And you, as the turukuma, you can do too. You turukuma there, feel it through your body. E aita uruma ita ishala katayete. Isa no mai akaita uruba ita turukuma. E ala la kushuru ba ya amma e hala kara miata e sha akara tia guruto I urukumaraka I rakoro mai da urukuma e huniata e no hurukoha ida turosta. In the language of the stars, in the language of the soul, in the language of the heart. E hatuk o uk at e ishk ita ia satonombata ia dea la kuruma e mea salurukum e kaishkdum e kashkdum ai laktaia ko o katekia uturukaneta utukurukuta uruktukukishkni ayurukurakta Ia ita uruk durushkunuru batera durushkunma erak doroma ishknia tara korokoma ikurukuma ita urukuma erakala. I'm hearing a question from whoever, because I don't know if there's anyone actually here present, is saying when we do this kara yasata la, you do it how it feels right. It's not. It can be said from one way from one soul and said another way from another soul. So it will be different when by everybody. There is no set. This is how you do it. That's like an anchor within the sound, and then the sound is to resound within your soul, and your soul and your own love language will embellish it, because it will be either longer, shorter, depending on how your frequency hits your body and your being. In answer to the question, how do I do this? How do I say that again? And what was it again? I will sing for me. If you want to continue, you can. I will do a separate video with just that, actually, because she's saying you can do it later. But just for here, for now, for the one that was asking. Karaya satala is how I do it. You might do it at a lower tone. It's what feels right within your being. Okay? Anyway, e kuro kani esta criatura ko ba ishira e turo katai ta duro shknei ka a kuro ko pa yata da knuk a kita tu ku uma. Oh my yira, feel the fullness of who you are. Allow yourself to flow. Let go of the ego of what does that mean? How do I do this? Any other questions? And feel the answers that are all within. I release, I let go. I surrender to the divine wholeness that is me. The mind wants to know, it's rigid. You need to be in the flow of the heart and of the fullness of your being, and then focus it through the mind. Ai kuro ko ai kira tatakria tatuko umayita hata e mai kata e akora koi ki ai la kruko pai e miatai e kuro mai e kala kata e ta e ka e kata tata e la kushu e kaio ni koro. Yeah. I said, I felt like I was saying, hang on, we're going longer. Just be, let go of your concepts of time in this moment. You can spend longer, you can spend less. Just remember to connect to you, to who you are. Like you charge your phones. You remember ayuturu kumai kita ituru kuuka akaida itayuru kuma etaya, to hear the music of your soul. Ikaya, expanded in this moment through this reality. Ekukulokuma eladaya. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Eluku neahata enata. Blessings, thank you. Thank you. We are thankful. I'm going to share some of the images that were coming through while I was channeling myself from higher. aspects e o koro katai e shitai of my, say, soul family. There's a beautiful white and gold dragon, e Daesha, flowing through the earth. In I feel wrapped with a blanket of soothing, of love, of nurturing, of the feminine essence and the sexuality running through me, right up my spine, and Kundalini energy through that. I feel a rebalancing, and I was kind of seeing like a Grecian goddess with her, some tipping out stuff that's not needed and balancing, and feeling air, the element of air rising and blowing through all of my meridians and the cells and the space within the cells, and feeling the shifts. So we're allowing the space within the cell, the micro macro of this plasmic light as it's flowing down to hit places where there is resistance. And I was reminded, for those of you who know my story, of a past life memory of where I was decapitated from here to here. There is a resistance to betrayal. There is a resistance to being seen, for being literally murdered for that, and that's related to this. So letting go of that, letting go of those old stories from past life baggage, which I have done a lot of, but she's saying there's still this connection within the Atlantean, within the Lemurian template of my body, my soul's template of that which is from those that were on different sides, energetically speaking, in another time of duality. That's been healed, that, and we heal it in that moment. We heal it by looking back, we heal it by letting go and by moving on and learning, feeling the growth and doing it at a higher frequency. And you can relate to that in your own life with whatever that is. So maybe there's something coming up through aches and pains that your body is trying to tell you in a memory, cellular memory, that you can release. Feel yourself in the sacred union with your soul, as I do, as I move. She says, as I move, I say she, because I'm feeling more feminine presence, but there's a beautiful divine. It's almost like, it's the divine masculine energy, and I see it as some might see an angel. He has a lovely, beautiful, long, golden blonde hair, in contrast to my dark, and it's to see, like winged like a lioness, sort of wrapping. And there's a video I shared actually of seeing when the divine, the masculine, is in its balance, and this, he's comforting a woman, and it's literally much like that, wrapping around me as part of my divine masculine. We have both, and feeling that presence there. So yeah, so the feminine, feeling the sexuality, allowing that to flow, but it's also present. We never have one without the other. There is always balance. This is the Libra. This is the air of understanding. This is the flow. As I allow the sounds to come through me and let go of what they may mean, they're not necessarily words, they're packets of information. They're me tuning, me toning, me feeling flow of what some refer to as different star being light languages, but they are one merging of the fullness of who I am, because we are all one. Also grounded, and some of those sounds that come through are what I see as like a grandmother spirit. She's one that kind of came through the first time I allowed it through, and it's like a being or an energy, an essence that I see as this grandmother who was from ancient Peru and is very much there. I think it's to do with like the Pachamama lineage. She and her presence is also like the galactic grandmother. There's a star thing that's linked to the American Indian that that comes and has a connection with Sedona. So that presence is all there, yet they're all one. So there is information, but that's the inner knowing that comes through from what's flowing. So for you it might be different. For you might be seeing, and sometimes I see like the stars and the pyramids and Egypt definitely when I was there was a huge connection. But this is more tribal. It's more the Atlantean, and the Lemurian is the ancient, the one that was washed away, as well as the one that is completely sunken below, that has gone, Lemuria, I mean, which we call Lemuria. Mu is what it was referred to in its time, or Arthuria. So how was that for you guys? Is there anything, let me know in the comments, you'd like to share that came through that you were letting go of? And before we close the circle, I would just again come to the smoke. And for those that weren't with us earlier, we were just following with our focus. Now, you must have saw how my focus just went all over the place. But at the same time, I allow just the focus to be that of the soul. So you can practice just simply by allowing yourself to flow like the smoke, to be like that in flow, allowing, in the state of allowing, of the being, of the creativity, of all these things flowing through me as I've demonstrated. But as I've done it, it's not necessarily how you do it, just feeling into that which is for you. It's just an example of how you can do it, and I hope it sparks inspiration within you for what is right for you. And as we said in the beginning, just like the resounding of this, feel, and do it with me now, feel that light flowing through, down through like a rod, your central common, what I call the lightsaver, switching on your lightsaver. And as I resound, feel yourself resound, feel your energy field around. As we bring to conclusion this focus, we are thankful and we are grateful. We bring in the power of gratitude. So wherever you were letting go, you might have created a hole maybe. We want to be very deliberate about what we're bringing in. And I want you to just spend a few moments with me now, thinking about your new identity, the new you, who you are in your highest good. Channeling your being, standing in your power, whatever, however you see it, being that inspiration, moving through your life in the highest aspects with love and compassion and kindness. See the world around you as such, same, reflecting what we see back, our monetary systems, our personal relationships, as those two with Venus are very current, but also the communication, how we communicate with each other, more telepathic understanding, higher awareness, open states of being for the highest aspects of us, but also in the everyday, how that reflects what we do when we work through inspiration and divine inspiration, calling forth and working with our own soul's purpose. The highest aspect of you, your car, in perfect alignment. Feel that resounding again. In awareness of things that may be ebbing and flowing and shifting within you as you transform. And open and receptive to the highest aspects and shifts and changes within you and within humanity. Thank you for your time. Love and blessings. Have a beautiful day. And if you feel like crying, if you feel like screaming, let it out, channel it, get a bit of paper, scribble it all over. Let the creativity, that femininity flow. Go nurture yourself, have a salt bath. If you weren't already doing that, listening to this, it was one of my suggestions, I think, the playlist. And as I've said before, I will do a shorter video that you can do this with and put it in the Reiki section. But the Kara, Ya, Sa, Ta, La, La, and yes, I'm saying it when I'm not channeling. I'll do it, channel it rather than me saying it, but just allowing that sound. And if you're in the bath, if you can hum those sounds and feel it with the water under here, the flow of the water amplifies the frequency through your field and through your body, because we are water as well, and it helps with the harmonics. So it's the best way to channel is in the bath. and obviously we can't do that on here or in water. I highly recommend trying it if you haven't. That's when I channel the most. Anyway, my love, my blessings, have a powerful clarity and understanding for today and every day. You can do this whenever, you don't have to say, God, I said I wanted to do a short time and now it's 40 minutes. Apologies for those, and thank you for staying. Again, thank you for your time.